Yeah, like I was looking at it. There's that one, like, it's like a 2-second frame where
She's
like,
a
Kylo
kitchen?
Ren and Rey are just bashing lightsabers around, but there's like pots and pans in the background.
That's so weird because it's. I mean, she runs a bar. Of course, it has a kitchen because people need like their chicken tenders and stuff like that when they're drinking, right? Like those 3 wolves that live there.
Yeah, I hope those 3 wolves are in there just hanging out. And they're like, oh, look at these people fighting. It's gonna be real weird.
We should probably introduce our guests. Hi, guys.
Hey.
So
we have
you're
this-
talking
we have
about
this
chicken.
thing-
Keep going.
We'd like to do this thing where we invite our friends over and then we just talk about Star Wars in front of them for as long as possible to make it awkward. Danny Fernandez and Andy Lunique.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so
Who
much
are you?
for having me.
What do you do?
I'm Danny Fernandez. I am a host at Hyper RPG and a couple of other nerd channels and stuff like that.
You're one of those just denizens of the internet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just all over.
And we brought you into the real world.
Yeah,
I love how there's we get these bizarre sort of Swiss Army knife descriptions if like half the things on the Swiss Army knife broke off. Andy, for instance, you work for Microsoft and you Twitch stream cooking.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a show called In-Game Menu. So my whole thing is being able to make food very, very well, wrap it around gaming, and then go to Microsoft every day for work. That's what I do.
That's a good hustle.
It's like a Batman, Bruce Wayne kind of thing going on.
What a
I dig
weird
that.
bunch we are.
And now, the thing you guys have in common is you both go to tons and tons of conventions,
Yes.
and you see like the kind of the variety because like
That's
E3,
where we see our friends.
yeah.
This is where you
How
get
odd
like
is that?
wrapped up into all the goodness. You get ridiculous hugs, lots of alcohol, and then you play games for like maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it.
And so what are some of the conventions you guys have worked?
I've worked at Comic-Con was actually the first, San Diego Comic-Con was the first ever convention that I worked at. I got to host for Funimation, and I would say one of the tips that I have is, which I don't know if everyone would appreciate this or the companies, but if you know of companies that are going to be at Comic-Con, and you're interested in being there, maybe hit them up and just be like, hey, do you need an extra set of hands? Do you need extra help? Because the answer is always yes. They
that's
always
awesome.
have
Yeah, it is.
underestimated, and they always need like man on the street. They need people handing out flyers. They need people handing out shirts. So that's how I originally like weaseled my way in.
No, it's a really good tip. It's just cold calls, right? Like you're like, hey,
like
what's
just
going
emailing.
on?
Yeah, there's so many companies at Comic-Con that they always need more help
Because I
and
think
volunteers.
and they
the
might
one
not
thing
pay
going
you, but,
in,
you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. They might not pay you, but you might get a badge.
But you're there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have to pay to go to these things, so if you can get there for free.
Well, and a lot of times you don't even have to be inside. There's so much stuff going on outside. Like there's Adult Swim on the green. There's, so many parties and stuff.
No, that's true. Like, sometimes we get in San Francisco, we have a music festival in the park, and it's called Outside Lands. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay to go inside Outside Lands. I'm going to sit outside Lands and watch the thing. And I'm like, am I pirating live music? That's sort of weird. Now, Andy, you work a lot with like influencers and
Twitch folks and YouTube folks. So I'm always at TwitchCon. I'm at PAX. I'm at Evo. I'll be at GuardianCon. I'm where all the folks who like to make all the videos are.
You could have just kept making up cons, and I would have been like, yeah. Go
It's funny because half of those sound made up. There's a TempleCon. There is a MomoCon.
We pitched one the other day called Con Etiquette.
Yeah.
Which is just for people who
No,
live in
so
Connecticut.
That's not
And it's
not
like a real.
fake.
Now it's a real thing.
No, it's
fake. It's a real
Kineticon.
con. Kineticon is real.
There's one today called KidCon that's happening today, and I was like,
That doesn't
so
work
am
at
I
all.
allowed?
That's what old
Is there like a
people
white
call-
van
Weird,
outside?
yeah.
Like that sounds
Should
uncomfortable.
we should sneak
I
into
don't think
KidCon.
grown men should be at KidCon.
Don't sneak into KidCon. There's so many things wrong with that. Like, stop.
I look like a child. I mean, from like here up.
Now, you guys have been to plenty of conventions. We honestly don't know what E3 is going to be like now that it's open to the public. Partially, it's going to be kind of like a science experiment in that front. One thing we do know for sure is the food will probably suck because convention center food is like, it's like overpriced cafeteria food, kind of.
Soggy French fries.
Do you guys have any horror stories about that?
Yes, I accidentally ordered a tuna fish sandwich, but it's a great way to lose 5 pounds.
Oh,
you guys,
no.
I
Okay, now
could
hold on. I will be on the side of the good and say you might have just had a bad reaction to that particular
No, it's
sandwich.
not. I ordered a
just
tuna
know
fish
that
sandwich
whatever
at a
food that you
convention
have at the
No one does that.
there are so many people working like around the clock to get food, but let me tell you right now, if you're going to be at E3 and you're going to be going for any kind of food that you're looking for right now, walk outside, go to the food trucks.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where all the good stuff
Yes.
is. And then if you have time to walk away from the food trucks, go further. Like the farther you go from the convention, the better the food gets.
I'm glad you're saying this because you were defending that tuna fish sandwich like you made that tuna fish sandwich.
No.
I was like, was that your old beat?
No, you would have cried if I made the tuna fish
Everyone loves a good tuna fish.
I have like just a very, very distinct memory of this pulled pork sandwich I had at one of my first E3s. And people had been like, yeah, don't mess with the convention center food. You don't want to do that. And then I got this, like, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh, it was a bad sandwich, and I'll just be sad, and then I'll go back to sleep. But you know,
you can't go wrong with the hot dog carts.
Yeah.
Okay, they're
True.
like $1.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's real meat, but you
Doesn't
know
matter.
what? It fills you up.
Yeah.
Guys, if I could have like a behind closed door room where I could just make like waffles for like the entire con. I don't need to do any games. I don't need to demo anything. You just like you make an appointment, you eat breakfast, and you leave. Tell no one what you did.
Dude,
That's
you were
exactly what I would do at
super we were always tweeting about waffles. Like I'm trying to lose weight, and you know I see
There's
pictures of
always
waffles,
food.
and you're killing me, man.
I actually brought you guys a snack.
Oh, come on!
I'm sorry. I figured that
What's in
it should be
there?
a gift.
I
that's
brought
saying
nothing but
thank
my
you.
friendship.
Well, you brought that tuna fish story,
It's a
which
little
makes me not
box
hug-
of macaroons.
are you proposing?
Oh, shit.
No, it's just a beautiful box of snacks. That's all I wanted to give you.
That is the prettiest
Know that I gave them
compliment I've ever
macaroons.
seen.
Wow.
You know,
Did
just
this
saying. It was
small
awesome.
boutique pay you off?
There's
Anyway.
marketing involved.
You know
yeah.
what I meant in there?
You're gonna bite
Tuna
into
fish.
it.
Thanks for
You're gonna
yeah,
bite into it. It's gonna have a diamond ring.
thanks for bringing us the most like delicate and elegant food to eat in this like just.
Thanks for making me look like crap.
We're gonna dip into these later. I'm gonna
Just
hide
came
these
with my
down.
tuna
I just wanted to bring
fish story.
something nice. You know, I never come empty-handed. You
So,
bring a
Danny,
bottle of
what
wine,
do you
bring a
have for us?
sandwich.
I have
I see
my
a
love
phone.
and
Can I have
friendship. You can have my phone. Just don't scroll
Yeah, I'm
through
gonna
photos.
take that. Please give us everything else you brought us, all of your surprises and treats.
What's the sort of craziest thing that's ever happened to either of you at a convention? Like it's like a moment-to-moment thing, right? Where you're out there and all of a sudden, like I almost got trampled once when they were like, a guy was like, free T-shirts, and this guy was like, oh, just, like he was wearing a shirt already.
Somebody was getting married at a hotel the weekend of Comic-Con, which why? I don't know. But we actually crashed their wedding. I mean, that sounds bad. I sound like
No,
a bad
that's
person.
great.
No, keep going, yes.
But because we were semi-dressed up. But yeah, I remember sneaking up and crashing that. I don't think that's the craziest. I think that's the
No,
best
that's
thing.
pretty
That's probably,
crazy. Also, like semi-dressed up doesn't cut it for weddings.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
if you're semi-dressed up at a wedding, people are like, who's that uncle?
I wasn't like cosplaying as like Black Butler or something. I could have like snuck it. Yeah,
Gets a little weird. Now, Danny, you are a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, right?
I love it. Yeah.
Andy, what about you? You
He is too. We've been talking about
You
it.
have no
back
idea,
there.
dude.
Really?
Piccolo's my homeboy.
Okay, let's
Just
talk about
saying.
Dragon Ball Z.
We're
Brian,
talking about
I know,
Dragon Ball.
Vegeta.
All right, you know,
No,
I'm
I
kicking
got-
it. If you want to kick this off right now,
Okay, let's
you know
talk
what
about
we're
this.
talking about, right?
So at the Microsoft
Hell
conference,
yes.
we got a brand new 2D Dragon Ball Z game. It's called was it Dragon Ball Fighters?
Fighters.
Yeah.
How many Z's? One?
Just one.
just a
Fine.
single.
Fighters.
Yes, it's an extension.
And
of
it's,
the
it's made by the
universe.
guys who make Guilty Gear, and it's like a 2.5D 3 versus 3 fighting game, which I'm so happy about because I mean there are 3D fighters and there are people who are into them, but to me like the kind of point of entry to fighting games has always been 2D stuff, and Dragon Ball is inherently a 2D thing.
Yeah.
But like since like I don't know 15 years, 17, 18 years now, it's mostly been 3D stuff.
Yeah,
and
like-
this looks just awesome.
It's
This is the game.
Beautiful.
I'm telling you
Look
right
at
now,
this
like
animation.
nothing else makes more sense in this game right now. Like I am a huge fighting fanatic. I am day one with this game.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous. I can't wait to see the rest of the roster.
Goes
because,
together like tuna and E3.
You guys. I mean, I love that they had my man Vegeta in it. I just am. I know
But like,
that
look
they're
at the
gonna have.
destructive backgrounds that are happening. Like, you know, things are blowing up while explosions are happening. Like, they're pounding themselves into the ground. I can't fucking wait. Sorry, I actually am freaking out a little bit. Like, I am fanboying. Like, I can't help it.
Look
Like,
at how clean it looks, too.
It does,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of always been the big thing is when we get, I mean, we see this also at Microsoft with like Cuphead, but like seeing stuff that, video games are based on old weird cartoons or they're based on action movies, and seeing stuff that has the same fidelity as the source material and being like, oh, you like one-upped it. That's insane.
I kind of want to see like an old VHS filter over this because it just looks like the show.
Oh yeah,
way
no,
back in the
I
day.
want some bad like bootleg VCD subtitles, and I have to get like like a real player frame to go around it.
right,
Yeah,
has
but
the
they
commercials cut in there, some
Yeah.
daytime TV. You know,
They also
that's how it is.
had Golden Frieza, though, so we know that they're probably going to have some of the characters from Super, like
Yeah.
Beerus
Yes.
and.
I'm kind of glad they leaned into the more classic stuff though. Like I haven't been keeping
of
track of
course.
Super, but yeah, like
You might need a wiki at this point.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie to you. There's a lot going
They're
on.
on episode 95 as of yesterday.
oh
95?
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna
That's
catch
just
up with
that's
that.
a 3-day weekend. Just lay low for a little while. Call out.
Yeah, we get all worked up about that. I hope they bring in some of like the early Dragon Ball stuff. I like it when the children fight.
Hercule.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Day
I
one.
think that they're going to have
Done.
Hercule. Yeah, I hope that they have Kid Trunks and Goten. And
Master
then, of course,
Roshi.
I need to have... No, we...
We need, no, I don't want to hear it.
but-
Roshi versus Hercule.
No, I will accept Chaozu instead of Roshi or Tien.
I heard that Chaozu has this sweet move where he dies.
Yes.
Yeah, you know who
I
does that
think-
often? Yamcha. That's what you sound like right now,
I was
Yamcha.
going to say they might have Yamcha just watching.
What about tonkatsu and soba? I don't watch Dragon
Did
Ball.
you really just do that?
But half of them are named after food. Like,
Are
they're-
you hungry?
I think there is a soba.
Just start naming vegetables, and you'll probably be right.
Tempura ramen. He's really good. I love that.
Anyway,
There it is, yeah.
where can people find what you guys do?
Yes, so I'm at HyperRPG. It's twitch.tv/HyperRPG. I actually have a Dragon Ball Super show there. We are covering the Toonami run. So if you haven't stayed up to date, don't worry. They're only on like episode 21. And I'm also at Ms. Danny Fernandez.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Simple,
And Andy?
clean. Andy_Lunique on Twitter. Everywhere else, same thing. Just look for the guy that's probably holding a frying pan in his photo. And I do nothing but post lots of food, primarily because it's the safest thing to post on the internet. No one ever yells at me for food, so
No.
that's it.
I mean, I just did, but other than me.
Right, you know what's gonna happen next week? I'm gonna make a tuna sandwich, and you're gonna learn. Okay.
I'm not here
Make it
next
for
week.
me,
I'm
and
staying
you
away
can
from that.
undo
Okay,
that.
just know that tuna can be beautiful. That's what we learned here today.
I want to correct you real quick. People will absolutely yell at you on the internet for food. You just have to open a restaurant first. There's a great website called Yelp.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Have fun out there. Have a
Yeah.
good time.
All right.
We are
Thank
going
you
to
for
take
having us.
a quick moment, and we're going to run down something very special. Speaking of food, our sponsor, Hot Pockets, was nice enough to take care of us this year, and we are going to run down the hottest moments of E3. This
The hottest.
is Hot Pockets presents E3's hottest moments.
Hottest moments.
Yeah, there's been a lot of hot moments.